Hi guys. So I'm doing this YouTube video before bedtime again, which is good. I've had a good day. Had swimming lessons today. We're trying to get ready for our trip for my birthday. Pretty sure our Suburban has to have surgery that's like thousands of dollars. So that's kind of a bummer. I'm hoping it doesn't get so high in cost that I can't go to Africa in January, which is coming up soon. That's neither here nor there. So today, the exciting thing today that happened is we got a WhatsApp text from the Small World Children's Home. So the head nanny there, Esther, I believe, is going to coordinate our phone calls. And so we just got like a confirmation text, like, hey, this is my number. This is the Small World number. So Jeremy and I both got one, which was nice. So it looks like they're building those contacts so that they can make those calls with all the families. So I'm super pumped about that. I have suitcases that I'm planning on taking to Africa. I want people to send me stuff. If you need me to take stuff to your kids, I'm totally fine with that. I just want to wait till I actually buy tickets to give you like the green light on that. I still have things we brought home from Africa that I haven't mailed to the people here in the States that need them mailed. Really just one thing, but I'm excited to go. A little nervous to go. Jeremy's like, I don't want you to go. Yeah, there's never going to be a time that we just want to go on a vacation alone without, we just don't, I don't go very far without Jeremy. I did come home while we were in Africa. I came home by myself for about 8 days, and tried to rent out our house, which didn't end up working out, but it got really clean, so that was good, I guess. We're back to doing textiles for our adoption. We did the one for Leashes of Love and the one for K-Kids, and both those nonprofits are close to my heart and run by people that I respect and love and appreciate their work. So, but we're back to doing it for our adoption, especially since we're about to write probably a $5,000 or $6,000 check to fix our Suburban, and probably a $5,000 or $6,000 expense for me to go visit our kids. We haven't heard anything new on the adoption front. It's just, like yesterday I talked a lot about child welfare and how in developing countries there's not like a budget for that, so it's not like you would think it would be saving money for countries to, let children that are, using their resources to just let them be adopted, like it would be cheaper for them, basically, but it's not. They don't even pay to bury those kids, so kids die in Liberia often, and not just Liberia. Lots of developing countries have no health insurance, no health care, no food, no child welfare. I did see where Blessings in a Backpack, which is run by my friend Paige. I'm sorry, not run by Paige. My friend Paige works there. She does a lot of their stuff, and it's a good nonprofit that helps children here get lunches that are nutritionally underserved in their homes. And that's a real thing. Like, even if you have food stamps, your own welfare, or whatever, try to go to the grocery store. Like, even Walmart, even Dollar General grocery, you can't get out of there for very much. And when we have a family of 5, and luckily we're not in a position to be so paycheck to paycheck that we're choosing between like gas and groceries kind of thing. But we're not that far from that mark. So hoping this new presidential administration can ease that burden for us, because we need it. But Blessings in a Backpack does help kids that don't have enough food, basically, and backpacks for them of food, packets that go home in their backpacks to last them through the weekend. And they had excess toys and food, I think, and they gave it to K-Kids, which is another organization that we love. So Blessings in a Backpack and K-Kids are two nonprofits that friends of ours work with, or run, one or the other. And it was nice to see those people come together. So our community keeps growing, so it's hard to keep everybody fed. What else? I think I may fly United Airlines to Africa and then fly home on Delta, because I have a credit I have 2 Delta tickets that are credited. I have to use them before February, but I have to leave the continent of Africa to use them. So The tricky part is getting from Liberia, getting out of Liberia, because Delta doesn't fly to Liberia. So I think I can fly Royal Air Maroc from Liberia to Morocco, and then fly Delta from Morocco home. This whole plane jumping thing is gonna be crazy. So I have some suitcases that were donated to our textile drive that I'm going to use for my luggage, and then I'll donate them there. So, I mean, there's nothing better than just donating it to the end of the line where it would go anyway. But they're two pretty good sized suitcases, so I'm going to check. Actually, I have two big suitcases and one carry-on. I'm going to check the two big suitcases, do the roll and carry-on, and just take one backpack for myself or one duffel bag for myself. And then I just plan on leaving all those there and coming home with a backpack. So when I'm coming home and I'm changing airlines several times, like, I'm just Rachel in a backpack. I'm not having to deal with luggage. So that'll be good. It's pretty easy. I'm pretty easy when I'm traveling by myself. And, like, it's not like I'm going to fall asleep and get robbed, really, because there's really not much to rob. It's not on my person. So, but yeah, it's really lifted my spirits to do these YouTube videos. So thank you for the 5 people that watch them every day. I appreciate it. It helps me just to get their story out there. I am disappointed in the U.S. government and the Liberian government and just adults in general that are in this realm, that they haven't made it smoother or easier for these children to have permanent homes in a safe place as soon as possible. April 1st is, I think maybe it was March 29th, April 1st. There's a date that we, 987 days ago, where we filled out an application and paid our $250 application fee and turned it in. And I threw our hat in the ring for adopting from Liberia. Our cost expenditure, including our trip to visit them, that was 5 months long, where we did, I mean, I'm not going to try to justify the trip to you guys. I wanted to go. I was hoping I'd come home with 2 kids. I didn't. But we did a lot of other things while we were there that I think were important. Not just for our children, but for the orphanage in general and the agency in general, because they were lacking funds, lacking ideas. They were all pretty depressed and kind of hopeless a little bit on what to do next and where to go. And I think we were a shot in the arm to kind of provide just a boost for the Liberian, our friends in Liberia, the orphanage that has our kids in their care. Even some of the other orphanages that are struggling, we help them as well. But we were there for 5 months, and I include that in our expenses, but money spent for Liberia, not including the upcoming trip, and including everything we spent so far in airfare, pre-adoptive care, agency fees, orphanage fees, legal fee, not like we haven't had to pay a lawyer out of pocket, but I mean, we helped with the legal fees for the agency, travel documents, travel visas, all those things. Up to right now, we're at $162,000. A lot of that is fundraised money, which I can't thank you guys enough, those that continue to rally support around us. Some of it is not. A big chunk of it is just money that we have earned or sold something to get or whatever. The thing about it that gets me is the money that we're spending on these 2 kids is, in a perfect world, these children don't need me. They stay with their family of origin, but we live in a fallen world. We live in a fallen world with enough good people that the average cost of each adoption, or the average cost of a sibling group out of Liberia should be around $45,000 total. That's not what it is, but that's what it should be. And even that is a steep price for most families. But that being said, if people were following the laws as they exist, and people were doing the right thing as their job description says that they should do to get their paycheck, that's probably what it would be, 40 to 60 grand. But that's not what it is. And I think of the $162,000 that we've put into this, and I'm like, how many kids could we have helped with that excess? Like that 100 grand. Like how many other lives could have been saved while we spend extra money and extra time? Basically, the time is what's costing more money. Extra money and extra time and extra efforts to above what we should have had to do, way above. And the kids, the kids that no one knows, the kids that'll die on the street today in Africa, the kids that needed a home a year ago and still don't have it, or needed to come in the orphanage 6 months ago but there's no place for them. Those kids are collateral damage that's not counted. And every single time I pay a fee that I shouldn't have had to pay, like our pre-adoptive care, we pay $500 a month, $250 each kid. They guesstimate that you'll pay 6 months to a year of that based on if you get matched, however you get matched, they plan on 6 months or so, maybe a year. And it started extending now, but I mean, we've been paying pre-adoptive care since July of 2022. So we should have paid pre-adoptive care from July of 2022 till probably about January of 2023, if I'm being honest about, because we matched ourselves a little early. We picked from an email, like there was an email of kids that were siblings that were unmatched. So we didn't have our dossier done, but our dossier was done in November. So even if you stretch it to March of 2023 should have been when we were done. And where are we? So you think about March of 2023 to March of 2024. Honestly, sometimes I forget that it's 2024 because I just don't want to face it. We're almost in 2025 and these kids aren't here yet. So we have paid $500 a month for an extra year and 8 months. So that's an extra 20 months. So 20 months, extra 20 months of pre-adoptive care times $500 a month. You want to do that math? It's $10,000. Oh, boy, I wish if Nelson's watching this, Nelson, how much could you have done with $10,000? And I would have given it to you. $10,000 is a lot of money. 20 months. 20 extra months of pre-adoptive care and payments. And I'm not complaining to pay to support my own kids. That's fine. And I realize it's a shared expense. I do think $250 a month is about what it costs to keep a kid alive in Liberia. I know that they do round up because they have another 20 kids there that are unmatched that they're having to keep alive. So I get that. But at the same time, I just want you guys to let that sink in. And that's not even the only fee that we've had to pay, but that's the monthly fee. $10,000 for 20 months of extra pre-adoptive care. And that's what I want to take to the Liberian government. And that's what I want to take to, because these kids still have to be fed and clothed. And I promise you, when they live here, we're spending more than $250 a month per kid to keep them alive. Like, I promise. But still, it's an expense that I have to pay, and I can't parent. And there's room for them here. Their bedrooms are waiting. Their closets are waiting. Their clothes are waiting. Their shoes are waiting. Their soccer balls are waiting. Soccer cleats are waiting unless they grow more, and then I'm going to have to buy more cleats. Which is fine. I'll buy more cleats. But that's not the point. The point is that our government's lack of cooperation, for me personally, has increased my fees for this adoption on just one category by $10,000. So heck yeah, we went over there to see if we could get something done in person. And every other family that had ever gone in person up till this year, every other family that had just showed up in person and asked nicely had gotten what they wanted. Granted, there wasn't any suspensions going on, and the U.S. State Department was not interfering in Liberian business. But every other family got what they wanted. They went over there. They asked nicely for the paperwork. They went, and we did the same thing when we were there. But this suspension's caused some problems. But we went thinking we want to shorten this for our kids. We want them to see our faces. We want them to know that we're doing it. And then when we left them there, I don't wish that on anybody. It's tough to leave them there. The only thing that softened it at all is that we got to know the caregivers there, and I know that they're in good hands with those women. I know they are. I know that they're not just taking care of them, but they're their friends. And when those kids leave, those women grieve. Because I see him day in, and Albert, their director, he takes good care of them too, and he's an overseer, and he knows them details about these kids. He remembers things about them. I mean, he can pull up a picture of when a kid came in the orphanage 4 years ago and tell me everything about him. But the women that deal with them day in and day out and deal with them when they need their hair done, or they have a sad day, or they vomit all over everything, or, I mean, there's all kinds of things that can happen. And those parent moments, there's 5 of them. And they're spread thin 24/7 between 36 kids. So that's the only thing that softened it for me. Just that one little bit. So anyways, my good cause for the month is actually my friend Devin's baby horse that contracted tetanus, of all things. Tetanus usually kills animals pretty quickly. He survived. He needs a lot of medical care. They got the bills recently, so I'm adding the Noonday link. If you want to buy some Noonday, I'll donate the commissions to Charley's cause instead of our adoption for this month. But this horse has provided a lot of peace and comfort in a family that needs it. And he's happy and playful and doing well, but it's expensive. So her GoFundMe link's all over my pages too, and I'll put in the description as well. But yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for being on this journey with us. Noonday stuff, that's necklaces and shirts. And this is a cute little bracelet. I haven't worn very much. The refraction bracelet. It's glass beads made in India, I'm sure. The bag sale's going on today. I know nobody has any money right now with the current economy, but if you have a little disposable income, that is my good cause for the month. So that's all. Thank you for listening. Bye, friends.